The central government's decision to reduce the goods and services tax (GST) on cement and steel has been hailed as a game-changing move by leaders from the real estate industry. GST Council has approved a complete overhaul of the goods and services tax (GST) regime. The panel approved simplifying the GST from the current 4 slabs 5%, 12%, 18%, and 28% to a 2-rate structure of 5% and 18%. A special 40% slab is also proposed for a select few items such as high-end cars, tobacco, and cigarettes. This will be effective from September 22, the first day of Navaratri. The central government's decision to reduce the goods and services tax (GST) on cement and steel has been hailed as a game-changing move by leaders from the real estate industry. Cement will cost less with the tax rate coming down from 28% to 18%. According to experts, the reduction of GST on cement is also a positive step and will help ease construction costs. Here's what experts said: the GST rationalization announcement is expected to increase savings, boost consumption, and improve liquidity and lift overall business sentiment. This is welcome, particularly ahead of the festive season. For the real estate sector, this buoyancy is meaningful, as it will reduce the cost of construction. Housing demand is closely tied to consumer confidence and long-term fiscal planning. When households save more on essentials, it creates a positive environment that encourages investment in real estate, while also strengthening sentiment around property as a stable and rewarding asset class. Lincoln Bennett Rodriguez, Chairman and Founder, Bennett Bernard, Goa. The recent GST slab rationalization marks a pivotal shift for the real estate sector. Affordable housing is set to gain significantly, as reduced tax outflows will make home ownership more accessible for first-time buyers and middle-income families. More importantly, these changes will also ease the monthly cash flows of Indian households, since essentials are now cheaper, and families will save more on their daily necessities. This additional liquidity enables buyers to take on higher risk for long-term assets like homes, directly improving affordability. In effect, demand will be buoyed by two key factors: lower construction input costs and higher disposable incomes. This aligns well with the government's push toward housing for all and will stimulate demand in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, where affordability is the key driver. On the other hand, luxury housing falling under the 40% slab will see muted momentum in the short term, as higher taxation makes buyers more cautious. Developers will need to innovate, focusing on differentiated experiences, green design, and value creation to maintain traction in this segment. Overall, the restructured GST slabs will not only boost affordability but also steer the market toward a more balanced and inclusive growth trajectory. Deep Vadodaria, Managing Director, Neela Spaces Limited. The GST rate cut on cement and construction materials is truly a Diwali gift for the real estate sector. A 10% reduction will significantly lower construction costs, enabling us to pass on nearly 60% of the savings to homebuyers. This festive boost will enhance affordability, accelerate demand, and brighten housing dreams for many families. This move will also boost the Indian economy and help build a new Bharat. Akash Kohli, Founder-CEO of Elanti Group. The GST slab cut is a fantastic step towards making homeownership a reality for more people. By slashing the GST on cement and simplifying the tax structure, the government has directly addressed one of the crucial pain points for the real estate industry: high construction costs. This move is a major win, since it will allow developers to finally pass on significant savings, making home buying a more accessible task. We expect to see a massive boost in buyer sentiment and a surge in sales this festive season. It's a timely and much-needed reformative relief that will accelerate the Housing for All mission. Sumit Ranjan, COO of Roots Developers. The GST Council's move to slash tax rates on cement and other construction materials is a landmark step for the sector. Cement alone contributes nearly one-third of overall construction costs, and its rate reduction from 28% to 18% will directly enhance cost efficiency for developers. This will not only accelerate project timelines but also allow developers to channel savings into quality enhancements and sustainable building practices. Importantly, it improves housing affordability for end users and boosts investor confidence in the long run. Such policy measures provide the necessary impetus for long-term growth in both residential and commercial real estate markets. Aman Sharma, Managing Director and founder of Aura Group. The rationalization of GST slabs represents an important step towards simplifying India's tax framework and enhancing transparency in the real estate sector. By potentially reducing the tax burden on housing, this reform is expected to strengthen buyer confidence, encouraging more informed and faster decisions. For developers, a predictable and streamlined GST structure could reduce transaction complexities and enable smoother project execution. This reform will provide fresh momentum to the real estate sector, supporting sustained growth and reinforcing India's position as a dynamic housing market. Santosh Agarwal, CFO Executive Director, Alpha Corp Development Limited. The GST cut on construction materials marks a decisive push for real estate growth. The commercial segment, in particular, stands to gain as lower taxes on cement, steel, and fittings directly improve project viability for office spaces, retail hubs, and mixed-use developments. This cost efficiency not only encourages fresh supply but also enhances India's appeal for institutional investors seeking resilient assets. By lowering costs and streamlining compliance, this reform strengthens India's positioning as a hub for world-class commercial and lifestyle infrastructure. Uddhav Potter, CMD, Bhumika Group. The timing of the GST cut on cement couldn't have been more strategic. Festivals in India are associated with optimism and new beginnings, and home buying is a natural extension of that sentiment. By reducing one of the heaviest tax burdens on construction, the government has created space for developers to sweeten deals, hold prices steady, or offer more flexible plans. For the sector, this is not just cost relief, it's demand acceleration. We expect this festive season to reflect a clear surge in site visits and bookings. Pratik Tiwari, MD, Pratik Group said the GST Council's move to rationalize rates by reducing GST on cement and other crucial construction materials is a historic and highly progressive decision. For years, high taxation on these inputs has been a major hurdle for the real estate sector, particularly for affordable and mid-income housing projects. With this reduction, we foresee a substantial decrease in construction costs, which in turn will enable developers to offer more competitive pricing to homebuyers. This will not only revive demand but also encourage faster completion of projects, benefiting both the industry and consumers. We welcome this step wholeheartedly, as it will act as a catalyst in accelerating India's housing growth story and take us closer to the dream of housing for all. Neeraj K. Ms.